14 people have been killed in a multi-vehicle pileup in Limpopo. For more on this story, we're now joined by our reporter Mike Maringa. Mike, thanks very much for joining us on the line. What do we know about this horrific accident? We're seeing some disturbing pictures on social media already.
Good afternoon to you, Peter. Yes, it's indeed disturbing. I'm here at the scene as I speak to you. The emergency personnel are busy trying to free the bodies that were trapped in a 22-bus-seater. We are told that the 22-bus-seater was traveling from Bochum to Tembisa in Johannesburg. It's multiple of vehicles that are involved here. There's a truck that is seemed to be carrying cement and transporting cement. We've got a sedan. We've got two buggies. The other buggy has caught fire. It was reduced to ashes. Then we've got another buggy that I'm standing in front of as I speak to you now. The emergency personnel are busy using jaws of life to free other bodies that are trapped there. And I must also indicate that the bodies that they are about to take out of these specific vehicles are not amongst those that they have counted already. We must also indicate that on the 22 bus seater that I've spoken about, it looks like it's only 2 people who have survived. So the 14 number is the number that they could identify at the stage. It's only now that they are retrieving the bodies, and we will know in a short while as to exactly how many people have died so far. But it looks like the number might increase from 14 to 22 as we speak, Peter. And I must also indicate that N1 between Mokopong and Modimule is closed for traffic, and it looks like it will be closed for some time now as they try to free the trapped bodies from the 2 vehicles.
All right. I think you gave us a hint just now, but you know, looking at these pictures, do we have any idea what might have caused this?
At this stage, we don't have a clue because all the involved vehicles, it's only the truck and the sedan that are on the road. The 22 bus seater rolled several times to the other side of the road. The buggy that caught fire, it's also on the other side of the road. So it looks like it was a head-on collision, and it will look like the truck was also the truck that was traveling from the northern side, the direction side to the south, which will be in Pretoria in this instance, might have collided with one of the buggies because cement has been spilled all over the tar road. So we don't know whether it was a tire burst, if someone lost control, or what might have happened. But we will get that report shortly. But the situation is so bad, and we'll have to stick around up until all the bodies have been retrieved from the wreckages.
So when you talk about the jaws of life, and I'm seeing some of these pictures, I mean, it looks as if this vehicle was completely crushed in a compactor, let alone in an accident. Yeah,
it is the very same buggy that I'm talking about. You can only see that it was a buggy. It is finished. There's nothing left of it. But when you get closer, you can see that there are about 2 bodies that are trapped inside that vehicle, and that's what emergency personnel are about to do, to retrieve the bodies and also make sure that it is 2 bodies as they were suspecting, or if there was more. But I must also say that the pathologists have been here. They have been transporting. They have been taking the bodies from the scene into various mortuaries around the area. So it's quite a very busy scene, and I wonder if they will open it anytime soon. If the road will be opened anytime soon.
And the transport vehicle itself also very large, with a large trailer, so it was almost like a double vehicle. One can only imagine that any vehicle impacting with that really was just going to be a mess.
Yeah, it will look like it looks like the 2 vehicles where the deceased are trapped might have rammed into the truck, and if you look at the steel base of the truck, if you ram into that thing, it's either your vehicle will catch fire, or it will be crushed completely. So it looks like that's what has happened. But because the lanes are stuffed with cement, we can't even see who was traveling which lane. So it's still a bit dicey at this stage to say exactly what happened, but they will give us that information for sure.
All right, Mike, we're going to leave it there for the time being. But in fact, just before you disappear, so we're saying the number of those that died is likely to increase. Do we have any indication of the types of injuries that those who have survived may have sustained?
Yeah, we were told that they have sustained serious injuries. The buggy that I spoke about that caught fire, it looks like there were 2 people, they survived at the accident. There were about 3 people, they also survived, but they were rushed to hospital and they are seriously injured. So, but unfortunately when we got here, they had already left the scene. But that is another update that we'll get as soon as they manage to clear the scene.
All right, Mike, we'll cross to you again a little bit later on just to get another update once you have more information. Thanks very much for joining us. That's our reporter on the scene, Mike Maringa, and he says that 14 confirmed dead at this stage, and that excludes the bodies that are still being extracted from this multi-vehicle pileup. And so it could be well over 20 people that may have lost their lives in this horrific accident. And we'll give you more details of that as information continues to come in.